Hey guys, Justin here with Amalgatorium Visuals. I wanted to get on here and do a little tutorial on some of the vanilla After effects. Um, he said redundantly. Um, we're going to go over some of my favorite ones, and these can be combined and manipulated in some fun ways to create almost infinite patterns with just a few effects. You can use it for your visuals or your backgrounds, your YouTube videos, whatever you want to do artistically. Um, and it's a good primer to the way After Effects works. So you can be a complete beginner and pick up here. So I already have it over here, the gradient. The gradient we're going to use is not the default one, the vanilla one, but it is a free uh, add-on you can get at aescripts.com, and I'll put a link in somewhere. And once that link's up there, you can go ahead and get it. So we'll just start with that one. It's the most basic, but it's very powerful. And we're going to start with a solid. You can right click, new, solid. It doesn't matter what color because the color is going to change. And on the side here in this right panel, the effects and presets, you can go ahead and just start typing. And as you type, it will uh, hone in on what you're typing. And I'm going to choose the free gradient, which is doubly white. So just to show the effect, we're going to do black and white. So we have a standard gradient going across. You can also do a radial gradient, but you're going to see that it's not very radial. It's like over here. So you can put the center in the center, and the end is hanging out at the edge there. So that being said, we have a couple different effects in here that differentiate it from the standard gradient, the gradient loop and the gradient scale, which you can tell here what's going on. And if you do a gradient reflect, gives yet another different effect. Um, so yeah, you'll just have the one gradient unless you do the loop, and then reflect. And if you were to go ahead and drop a different color, we'll do it again. Okay. Yeah, you get a different color in there, and then you can see how that works. Here's the linear version, and sliding the scale, adding reflect. So there's a bunch of combinations with just colors and toggling those, and you can animate them as well. So if you want to, you can go ahead and hit this little timer, and that drops a keyframe. Keyframes are points at which it saves that value, and then you can bring it like, okay, we'll bring it 10 seconds forward. Doesn't have to be exact, and we're gonna increase it like that, and it's automatically going to capture those 2 points, and then after that point it stays what it is until, of course, we change it again. And so there's that fun little gradient thing. And so we can take that, and I'll combine another tool that I have here, or that comes with After Effects. Strangely enough, in order to cut the clip, it's Control Shift and D. D for dissect, I guess. I don't know. And we've got the rest of the gradient here. We can go ahead and trash that. And here's one of the effects that I like to do a lot, and it adds, it's kind of just playing around, experimentation. So we'll Control D, and we've duplicated it, but there's nothing going on. So if you look at this mode area, you're going to see different options. Difference is really fun. Oh, it went away. Why did it go away? It went away because it does the opposite of what's under it. So what's under it is identical, so it's just going to be black. So we'll go back to normal, which is here. Okay. And if you want to, you can go ahead and look at one or look at the other, or look at both. Since one is on top of the other, you can only see the one on top. If you don't see this mode option, you can hit toggle switches modes right here. It trips me up every time. Sometimes I get on here, I'm like, where is it? Okay, yeah, toggle switches and modes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a difference, and you're gonna see that it's just black the whole way through. One thing you can do is time and reverse layer. Okay, that does something. Yeah, that's unique. So we're going to reverse it back, and I'll show you some of the other things you can do at a base level. You can go ahead and press S to initiate scale, and you can scale it up or scale it down. Scaling it down makes you see the edges of the screen. So scaling it up, we get that, which is yet another thing you can do. You can rotate it. Press R, and then you can rotate, and you can get yet another effect. You can animate that rotation if you like, using the keyframe technique, hitting the little timer. All of the values that have the option to animate have that little clock symbol. And yep, another one. I'll just Control Z. We'll go back to the black, and we're just going to right click and do transform. Rotation, no, flip horizontal. And then we're also going to rotate. So we're going to rotate that 90 degrees, and you can see the edges there. So if you want to, you can grab that. You can keep it square like that, or you can kind of compress it and get rectangles. Play around with whatever it is that you're playing with. Always play. And then, of course, you can animate this here too. You see how that kind of shifts around a bit? So we'll start over here. We're going to hit the, oop, okay. Want to bring it to the front. We're going to start over here, and we're going to then bring it over here, and we're just going to bring that over here and shift that around, and then you have nothing because it's not shifting, is it? Oh, it is. It's just subtle. So let's go ahead and change the other values. We're going to bring the black over here. Oh, it disappeared. Control Z. Black over here, white over here. And now you have another shiftiness. Kind of subtle. But you can play with that. We'll do radial this time. Okay, yeah, that changes it up completely. And so yeah, once you've gotten something you like, you can go ahead and make the little this little tracker here. This tells you what you're going to render out. I don't recommend to use the render queue. The Adobe Media Encoder queue is much better. Once you do that, you can select all the different values. You probably want to watch a video on specifically rendering at some point if that's something you're into. And probably it will be, because if you're in here, you're going to want to render, duh. And yeah, so we've got this little gradient and a little animation with it. Here's another fun thing. You can go ahead and combine something by control clicking or shift clicking a group and then right click and pre-compose. And now they're combined into one thing, and then we can iterate. So control D, we're going to do a difference, and then we're going to, what do we want to do? Flip vertical. Well, that's interesting. Very subtle. We're going to go ahead and scale up. Oh, so as you scale, you see what it's doing there, and yeah, yet another layer of it, and you can keep iterating that as you wish. We can go ahead and do a new solid and then play with another gradient. We're going to do red to, yep, no, that's an ugly yellow. Red to yellow. And we're going to go ahead and combine these two into one. And we're going to difference that, see what happens. Okay. Yet another fun thing, another fun combination. And then you can go ahead and duplicate that, transform, flip horizontal this time. We'll get rid of that, and then we'll do a difference on that. Oh, okay. So that's what that does. Neat. And we can do the scale on one, and we'll just do a loop on the other, and then rotate. It's pretty much like jazz, the way I do it. See what happens. Uh, okay, and yeah, so once you've played with the gradient a bit, you can start adding other effects to it. So we'll go ahead to here and add a distortion. Um, Turbulent displace. Okay, so the amount, right, not really doing much. Why is that? Oh, it's not doing much because we're doing it on this one. This is just a basic gradient. So you can see that the displace is kind of subtle. It starts to eat away at it after a while. Well, let's bring that back in. Okay, so there's something going on there. And I have my viewport set to quarter so I don't make my system struggle. And really not that visible. Complexity. Okay. So the complexity increases stuff. Evolution. Oh, okay. Yeah, that one, it cut some holes in it. So the this one down here has some holes in it. So the complexity can, oh, the amount. Yeah. Yeah, it's amount. And then the size. Basically just toggle, tweak, work, do all the things to the various effects to get different results. And we're going to bring that back in, and we're going to put that turbulent displace on this other one. Yeah, I'm using this here, distort, and then turbulent, but I just go here just to show that that is a easier way to do things. And that one, right, since there's more action, more variance going on, uh, has a bit more to show. Uh, So to share that again, that animation style or animation technique, we'll go ahead and come to the beginning, drop the amount down on here, come to the end, bring the amount up, and as you see, it will go ahead and animate over time. Here's a fun one. So, and that's just this one by itself. We're going to go ahead and duplicate that. We're going to do on one of them, we're going to do time reverse. There we go. So as it goes, as it gets to the other side, it's going to disappear. So let's go ahead and do the difference on that. Bring the other one in for coloring effect. And we got that going on. So that's fun. And you can go ahead and toggle off and on the different layers. What is this layer doing? Okay, let's see what that layer does to it. And then this layer on top. And then we got 4 layers and a bunch of chaos. But it's up to you where you want to stop. You can render out each of these layers as you see fit and as you go through it. So yeah, that's a basic understanding of some basic animations with the free gradient and turbulent displace. So we're just going to wipe the slate clean again, start with a new solid. And, well, actually, no, we'll just go back, Control Z, and we're just going to go back to one of these gradients. We're going to delete a few of them. Okay, we're at this one. And it's just like a fiery gradient. We're going to go ahead and do the reflect and get a bunch of lines. And what do we want to do? We can do ripple. Oh, that's kind of subtle. Wave speed. Okay, width, height. Increase those. Oh, okay, there's something there. It's a bit jittery. Why is it jittery? Because the speed is negative. We're just going to do 1. There we go. So that was fun. Just basic lines, and then we can go ahead and take the center of the ripple and move it. We can move it that way. We're going to move it down and up, or to the right and over. And as it moves, it creates that effect. And then we can go ahead, Control D, and then duplicate that. We're going to go ahead and difference that. We're going to go ahead, transform, flip vertical. That didn't do anything. Oh, because we differenced the wrong one. Difference that and normal that. So now, well, that's interesting. Cool. Now what we're going to do is take this one. We're going to animate the scale. Got to click on the right one. Okay, so at 0, it's just nothing. At 1, it's very detailed chaos. So we're going to start there. And then we're going to go to there. Not too far. And then we're going to pop that one back in. And so now we have this thing. And let's go ahead, iteration. We're going to go ahead and pre-compose it and duplicate it, transform it, flip vertical and horizontal. Add the difference. That looks a bit chaotic, to be honest. There's a lot going on. Looks cool though, I must say. Alrighty, so we'll just Control Z to go back to another thing. And we've got the ripple there. We can do something to the ripple too. Yeah, I just recommend grabbing an effect and then playing with it, seeing what it does. Uh, the radius, is that, oh, it's, okay. Yeah, the radius is just where it is. So that's just there. Amount, we can go ahead and make this super chaotic. We can Control D. Another thing you can do is hue. That's another really powerful one, hue saturation. We're going to do that here. We're going to change the hue a little bit, and we're going to scale it up a bit so it fills in those holes. How can we make more of those holes? I think the amount of displacement. Yeah. And then you can, oh, that's the wrong one. All right, we're going to go click the bottom one. This is the one underneath. We're going to go ahead and go over here to the range, pop the little keyframe on that, and then we're going to make it rotate 3 times through. So it's just cycling through the colors. On the first one, yeah, yeah, pretty good. So yeah, just play around with some things. Those are some basics. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any other questions or would like us to look into a particular effect. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Thank you.